Hope people who aren't working today find some time to honor today. I'm going to start it off by reading the Philadelphia Inquirer with everyone. Just retrieved from the front of the drive. Yeah, so we're gonna do a little read right now, and that's how it's gonna be. We're gonna do our Monday read at 7:45. I'm gonna start with this guy. Let's get to it. All right, no time to waste. Ooh. Like that snag, Snaggio. So slept all right last night. I feel like. Hope you had a good sleep as well. Quiet Sunday. Separation of sections. Whew. Yeah, it's just not on Monday. No, it's a Monday that, again, national holiday. So, a little bit different of a Monday than your typical Monday, right? Business. Sports. Start right with sports. The Browns covered last night, didn't they? Yeah. Remember they were favored by, they were given 10? They lost by 5. That's a cover. And then some. Meanwhile, Mahomes, concussion. Henne comes in. Causes a hashtag to form. Anything is possible. Very good. Anything, Henne, then thing. A sideline Mahomes wrote on Twitter immediately after the game. Oh, so Mahomes started that tweet for that hashtag. Clever guy. Or he saw it from somebody else and was inspired. Either way, clever. So Chiefs was sort of late rally, taking on the Bills for the AFC title game. In the AFC title game, and we know Tampa beat the Saints by 10. They'll take on the Packers 3:05 next Sunday. AFC game 6:40 p.m. next Sunday. That's why we love Big Red, referring to Coach Andy Reid. He's always on time, Chief Safety Tyrann Matthew said. He's like our spirit warrior out here behind the scenes. He's always trying stuff. He always knew he has one play. We always knew he has one play on the table. And the pros and cons of Bird's coaching job by Marcus Hayes. There are several reasons why a top candidate might want the job as Eagles head coach. There are several others why a top candidate might not. The resident feeling around this position centers on its unattractiveness, but then most NFL head coaching vacancies are ugly opportunities. That's why they're opportunities to begin with. Still, doing Jeffrey Lurie's bidding is not the least attractive job in the NFL. Those lie in Jacksonville and Detroit. Sorry, Jags fans and Lions fans. Now filled by former Ohio State czar Urban Meyer and eventually Dan Campbell, Saints assistant. These rosters have less talent. These management structures are less stable. And of course, they're in Jacksonville and Detroit. Ouch. Sorry, cities. I'm sure you guys love your towns, but Marcus Hayes has no time for you. What facets of this Eagles job are attractive? For one, Philadelphia's fans and media are invested, if caustic. Lurie treats current and former coaches and players like princes. More than anything, though, a handful of excellent players remain on the roster. And for better or worse, the Birds have two talented quarterbacks under contract for at least the next 3 seasons. So that's a glass half full analysis. Morgan Frost trying to skate into a key role when the Flyers take on the Sabres tonight. He'll be filling in for injured Couturier. Last night, Sixers game was postponed due to virus tracing. The saga continues. I don't know when they're going to make up that game against the Grizzlies. Against the Thunder. Sources believe Deshaun Watson will force his way out of Houston. Sources in and around the Houston Texans organization say they believe quarterback Deshaun Watson has no intention to play for the team again, ESPN reported Sunday. Among Watson's issues with the team was the recent hiring of Nick Caserio as general manager. According to sources, Watson, quote, offered input on potential general manager candidates, but the Texans neither considered nor consulted with those endorsed by their franchise QB. There's widespread speculation that Houston could trade the star quarterback this offseason, or be faced with the possibility that he could decide to withhold his services and not report if he isn't dealt. So the guy who ran a 101-yard interception return for a touchdown against the Ravens for the Bills, Teron Johnson, he tied an NFL record in that run. Johnson's return, 101 yards, matched the longest in NFL history and punctuated the stellar defensive outing in which Buffalo limited the NFL's top running offense to 150 yards on 32 carries. Still a lot of yards, I feel like. 152. 150, excuse me. Still a lot. Here he goes. To the house. All right. No change in standings. We had no games last night, at least in Philadelphia region. Weather today. High of 45. Partly breezy and sunny. Nice looking week. Today's sunset. 5:04. 1 minute later than yesterday. Okay. Sports and weather section. Done. Want to go to region? Let's go to region. Let's do region. Let's do region together. What do you think? Mondays should be quicker. Monday reads, no question. It's in the mail, and will stay there. Missing packages? Huge piles of them are waiting for USPS staff to sort and get them delivered. It could take weeks. Are you still waiting for packages from early December to arrive? You're not alone, but be patient. Postal workers warn, because it might be a while. In U.S. Postal Service facilities in Pennsylvania and across the country, hundreds of thousands of items sent in late November and early December are sitting at the bottom of massive piles of delayed mail that continue to grow with new packages daily. Great. So if you need something, delivered by mail, one of the oldest institutions, I would think, I'm just kind of making it up, but one of the oldest kind of public service type direct to consumer. I don't know. But anyway, an important service that the U.S. government, I think it's run by the government, offers, can't deliver packages. Can't do it, and it's not the fault of the Postal Service. And we know the whole drama behind the new post office chief and cutting funding and cutting it back, not allowing OT, not allowing overtime hours. I think it was like different equipment, kind of either stoppages or restrictions. I don't know. There were a lot of things that were put into place over the summer, was it? Slow down the Postal Service's efficiencies. Honestly, it's going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks until the backlog is cleared, said Lawrence Love, a clerk craft director at the Philadelphia facility on Lindbergh Boulevard. All we can ask of people is to be patient and understand that the people that are working inside the facilities, inside the post offices, are doing everything they can, said Andy Kubat, president of the Lehigh Valley Area Local American Postal Workers Union. Well, if you're waiting for something in the mail package, take a deep breath. And hopefully it's nothing too urgent. If you kind of out of luck any other way. Philadelphia man charged in a fatal crash. Philadelphia man has been charged in a hit-and-run accident in Runnymede earlier this month that killed a 61-year-old Somerdale resident. Charges against Gregory Graves, 40, included leaving the scene of a fatal accident and driving with a suspended license. The victim, Frederick Murray, suffered multiple injuries in the accident, which occurred on January 3rd at the intersection of South Black Horse Pike and East Clements Bridge Road. Officials found surveillance footage showing a blue Chevy Trailblazer that appeared to be involved in the accident. An anonymous tip led to their finding a vehicle fitting the description with a damaged front grille. A 14-year-old accused of causing the death of a 95-year-old man in Collingswood. Charges upgraded following his death after an alleged assault in the lobby of his Camden County apartment. Police said surveillance footage shows the victim, Anthony Donofrio, in the midst of a group of teens playing in the lobby of a building at the Parkview of Collingswood. They say the video shows him walking away and one of the teens running toward him, punching him in the side of the head and shoving him to the ground. The teenager, whose name was not released because of his age, was being held in the juvenile facility. The medical examiner determined the cause of death to be blunt force trauma and the manner of death to be homicide. The teen was charged with second-degree aggravated assault, and prosecutors said he will now face upgraded charges that they didn't specify. The founding member of the seminal punk band New York Dolls, guitarist Sylvain, dead to rights, 69 years old. Music producer and convicted murderer Phil Spector, we saw 81. It's eccentric jerk. Dead to rights. Who else we have? OBITS here on a Monday. Time for a little quiet, solemn remembrance moment for our dearly deceased. 100-year-old passed away, Sister Eleanor Gardyn. Got Barbara McFadden, 79, of Warrington. David Sang-soon Lee, 92. He was a journalist, a business owner, and a pioneering advocate for the Korean American community. Joan O'Toole. Doesn't say an age. She's formerly of Haddon Heights, New Jersey. She's the beloved wife of Herbert D. O'Toole. Mr. John Joseph Van Steenwyck, a native of Ambler, died at the age of 89. He graduated from Ambler High School in 49. Received an AB in economics from Oberlin College in 53 and an MBA in insurance from the Wharton School, Penn, in 55. He was president of Health Economics, a healthcare finance consultant agency from 1982, until 2014. He was always the biggest presence in any room, defying the, quote, little old man stereotype. He laughed loudly when enjoying a joke and encouraged others to do the same. He loved his people. The past year was cruel to many, and John was not spared its harm. Although he never contracted COVID, his death and final year were undeniably marred by it. Passionate above all else about his people, he died without them. He was preceded in death by his dear wife Janice. We imagine the reunion was exuberant. Okay. That's nice. Rest in peace. Business. Quest for accountability. After Capitol attack, corporations suddenly developed a conscience regarding political contributions, but how long will it last? We read a little bit about that already. Previous article. Ooh, Consumer Electronics Show goes full pandemic. New technology ranges from smart masks to the biggest Wi-Fi update in years. I like me electronics. I like me some tech. I like me devices. So I'm interested in this story. What kind of new wearables / technology are we? What's in store? At CES, the tech industry's biggest showcase, COVID-19 inspired new products to power extreme digital living. Here comes a big Wi-Fi update, smart masks, and even robot comfort cats. The pandemic also forced the event online. Instead of gathering 171,268 geeks in Las Vegas for a week of gadget demos, schmoozing, and hiking conference halls, CES, formerly known as the Consumer Electronics Show, went all virtual this year, featuring thousands of competing Zoom streams last week at all times of the day and night. Glad to have seen that. I completely missed it. So here's the finds for the best introductory products, as well as the most intriguing and weirdest of CES 2021. The Samsung Galaxy S21 has new flagship phones that it promises work better and cost less than last year's models. The world's largest smartphone maker unveiled the Galaxy S21, a line of 3 5G Android phones that pack new capabilities, but also shave $200 off the price of equivalent models from the previous Galaxy S20 line. You got Bose Sports Open Earbuds, totally wireless headphones such as Apple's AirPods are one of the biggest consumer tech trends of the last 5 years. Now, Bose has given the form a major redesign. Instead of sticking Inside your ear canals, its nose headphones hover just outside of them. The Sport Open earbuds are splash resistant and can last up to 8 hours on a single charge. $200. Shipping in January. But you won't receive them until March because there's a backlog in mail packages. So your Bose headphones will be at the bottom of the pile for a little while, and then they will arrive. Bio button. A sticker to detect coronavirus symptoms. What's this? The bio button, about the size of a silver dollar, sticks to your upper chest with a medical adhesive and uses sensors to continuously track your skin temperature, respiratory rate, heart rate, activity level, and sleep. Maker BioIntelliSense says that after a few days, a bio button can collect enough data to help identify whether you have symptoms of a possible coronavirus infection, even if you don't notice you're sick. Petite Kubu, a furry robot friend. It's like a cat, without a head or legs or fleas. A round fuzzy ball with a stubby moving tail. It is a portable-sized robotic companion designed to soothe you. Its tail switches automatically in 80 different movements when it hears the sound of your voice or when you pet it. It's $110. It's available in Japan with plans to expand. Gardyn, Gardyn, grow salad inside. This plug-in home gardening machine is designed to let prospective growers cultivate fresh leafy greens indoors with the help of artificial intelligence. Although it made its CES debut, the Smart Garden has been available to order since March when food supply chain disruptions, grocery delivery issues, and panic shopping rocked the nation. Gardyn pairs with an app that uses AI to monitor the vegetation, manage its temperature, and control the light. It only starts at $899, so you can grow yourself some lettuce in your house for a cool $9. Maybe tomatoes, maybe carrots, cucumbers. What else can we grow in a house? And here's this mask that will track your workout and air quality. It's called the AirPop Active Plus. You can wear a mask, exercise vigorously, and monitor your surrounding air quality, all without losing your breath. Its new Active Plus mask comes with a sensor that connects to your smartphone by Bluetooth and monitors everything from breaths per minute to outside air quality to the health of the mask filter. $150. Do we need all this stuff? I just got one of those blue medical ones. Just done. I know it's like $15 for 30 of them, 50 of them. Hey, if you want new tech, there's new tech that you can buy. Hey, got CAROLYN today? Oh, we do. Before we get to Miss Hacks, though, take a look at Mika Harrigan. So he's using this bus, it looks like. His mother bought him in New York. And he's going to use once it's retrofitted as a mobile lemonade stand for his Mika's Mix business. Mika Harrison, the South Philadelphia 10-year-old who won hearts and Instagram followers last summer for his Mika's Mix sidewalk lemonade stand, is a step closer to a permanent business, a food truck. On Thursday, he and his mother Danielle drove to New York to buy a yellow minibus, which will be fitted out with a window, counters, and refrigeration for his lemonade sales. She said he hopes to have the work performed on the 2006 Chevrolet, once owned by a private school, in time for a spring rollout. They are considering parking it near 24th Street and Oregon Avenue, near the row house. Mika is a fifth grader at Girard Academic Music Program who made the honor roll last marking period. He got the idea of this Mika's Mix last winter. In March, before the shelter-in-place orders, he started packaging lemonade and iced tea in bottles and then bags, like big Capri Suns, but they proved too expensive. By June, he hit upon 16-ounce clear plastic cups with lids and set up a table beneath a blue beach umbrella. Someone posted Mika's arrival on a neighborhood Facebook page, and Mika added a post to his Instagram account. Mika's Mix. 2 X's. Mika's Mix sold out and he came back the next day. The snail snowballed, and he began to do pop-up events at such businesses as OCF Realty and his current affiliation, MacMart, the mac and cheese shop near Rittenhouse Square. He's been saving the profits from his sale of 1,500 bottles. Wow. They paid $4,000 for the bus and created a Mika's Mix GoFundMe to help raise $10,000 toward the fit out, which he estimated will cost $10,000 to $15,000. He said his goal is to make this successful and to pay back my mom for everything. All right, guy. You do your thing. I do find it kind of odd. Not odd, but I can't help but think, there's a GoFundMe account set up to help him outfit a bus that he's going to use to make money. If people want to give money towards it to help him make profits and create his business, then, it's their money to give towards it. But it just seemed a little, I don't know. There are other things I would imagine that people could donate their money towards that. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. Go Mika. All right, Carolyn, what's your question today that you're tackling? I am our family's income earner, and my spouse stays home with our children. There's been so much discussion of how valuable and important stay-at-home parents are that, at least in our house, things have slowly tipped to the point where my contributions aren't valued at all. I know at-home parents are incredible and have historically been undervalued. I know my spouse's days can be very difficult, repetitive, physical, etc. However, mine are too, starting with a fairly grueling commute. I deal with difficult people and often have nothing left to give. And then I get home and I am immediately told it's my turn to be, quote, on duty, as though I've been on break for the past 11 hours. The spouse generally leaves the house to get fresh air. I don't feel there's any space for me to complain. We split the cooking and outsource cleaning. Spouse hates housework of any kind. I just feel there is a societal presumption that the at-home spouse is a saint, and the income-earning parent must perpetually remind self of that fact. How do I fix this dynamic? Answer from CAROLYN. What do I got to say about that, CAROLYN? What's your take? I know every household, child, parental temperament, job, and commute is different. So the very idea of piling all these things onto a scale to see who has it tougher is ridiculous. But when has that ever stopped me? Home with kids versus at an office reality is just the home version is just relentless. Even people who have relentless jobs can finish their sentences and go to the bathroom alone. Your difficult people might equate to people who scream when they can't wear their lucky socks. In the end, though, what you have is this. You are in charge of your headspace to a degree no on-duty parent of littles can be. I do not mean to pile on. I am just setting a baseline. One advantage you have is that commute. Again, you lose this time, and rush hours are punishing. But still, you are in charge of your headspace. No one is tugging at you and saying, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy. So, earbuds on the train, speakers in the car, play something you look forward to. Then look at your day. Breaks? Lunch? Can you use downtimes better? More radically, can you relocate? Change jobs? Make the changes you can, then live with them a bit. Then it's time to talk to your spouse about whatever needs you're still feeling. Wanting to feel appreciated is valid, so say that. At-home spouse is a hero. You're grateful, but also feeling erased and burned out by long days and plus immediate, quote, on-duty status. Being able to cite the adjustments you've tried will help you there. Ask for changes that don't burden your spouse. A sitter 1 or 2 nights per week. A parent's helper. Neighborhood team. Daily around dinner time. One night where spouse stays on duty in return for a weekend shift off. Also arrange to discuss bigger or longer term plans. This is a moment you're in, not a permanent state of being. Knowing things will change on their own is a form of relief. The question is whether you can still like where you're going and like yourself and each other as you get there. Little kids are just tough. I can attest to that, CAROLYN. Today's horoscope for Scorpios. Let's see what kind of abject nonsense they're claiming is in store for the Scorpios today. It is a good time to get organized. Complete projects that have been in progress for too long. Memories of a childhood animal companion can be especially poignant today. A charitable donation to animal charities will be a great way to acknowledge this. No, I don't have any deep-seated memories that are surfacing right now of a lost childhood pet that I'm motivated to donate to a charity because of. Nope. Okay. Our last section of the Inquirer. The front section. Well, a law firm is investigating a college leadership issue. Something about the dean of Temple's education school is a subject of complaints. The memo was from Sarah Goldrick-Rabb, a high-profile education policy professor at Temple University. Conditions had reached a breaking point with Gregory M. Anderson, dean of Temple's College of Education and Human Development, she wrote to the university's provost in August 2019. In a 6-page memo, Goldrick-Rabb complained about, quote, hostile behavior by Anderson and asked that she and the center she runs be transferred to another college within the university. Anderson once stood over her and yelled for 14 minutes, she wrote, despite her repeatedly asking him to stop. She's like this, okay, go. And then he yells. She's like, okay. 8 minutes. 11 minutes. All right, 14 full minutes. We just got that. Let me write that down for a future complaint. 14 minutes. Oh, 14 minutes and 22 seconds. You done? Cool. When she told him she wanted to transfer, he allegedly responded, "You're not going anywhere. You can't. I own you." I think you are, man. Goldrick-Rabb's request for a transfer was ultimately granted. Asked this month about the memo obtained by the Inquirer, she declined to comment. But her complaints weren't unique. About half of the 70 full-time faculty in July signed a letter in which they raised issues about the dean's leadership, saying faculty were, quote, deeply concerned about faculty members' loss of voice in their own college and about a growing climate of fear, mistrust, and intimidation. And here's this guy being put on blast here, so let's just take a look. He's saying, I believe once the process is concluded, the facts will show that all my decisions adhere to university policies and contractual obligations. That's what he's saying. Although the associate professor of urban education says, quote, I found working with him, Anderson, early on was untenable. I stepped off any committee that put me in contact with him. Ugh. In his statement, Anderson said he is cooperating. As a black academic whose research focuses on access and equity, I am particularly committed to accountability. University deans must make difficult and sometimes unpopular decisions each day. Okay. In interviews with the Inquirer, 10 current or former Temple faculty members say that since arriving, Anderson has transferred faculty to departments in which they didn't have expertise and targeted those who were critical of his leadership and tried to force them out. He's lost his temper and verbally berated employees at meetings, they said, created a hostile work environment. Our employees, especially junior faculty, were fearful to speak their minds. Okay? Not good when you wake up in the morning and you're like, my name's on the front page of the Philadelphia Inquirer about me being investigated for wrongdoing / alleged transgressions on my employees. Never a good wake-up call. Like, whoa. Your phone's ringing. Text message coming in. No good. Fighting rising overdoses. Feds ease rules for addiction medication prescriptions. Days after new reports showing that fatal overdoses have skyrocketed to record highs during the COVID pandemic, Federal Department of Health and Human Services has relaxed the regulation around prescribing addiction medication in an effort to combat the rising death toll. We read a little bit about that already. This buprenorphine, this popular opioid addiction treatment drug. It's like they've given it a little bit less constraints around how to get it. Biden to urge national unity. He will deliver an appeal to unite when he is sworn in on Wednesday. His pick for chief of staff said, "Good. Could use somebody to say, hey, there's an adult in the room now. Can we all just come together? Can we actually get some stuff done here as a country?" Good. And we've made it to the last section. Op-eds and letters. Let's see who's written letters today. Bill McGuinness from North Wales. Censure Trump over impeachment. Worker misclassification prosecution from John J. Doherty, business manager, Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council. Protocol for presidential orders. Martin Mickelberg, Warminster. In the remaining days of Donald Trump, will pardons from this day on and presidential orders by President Trump be rolled back if he is found guilty? Good question. Holding our leaders accountable, George Saloom, Drexel Hill. Pardoning rioters will hurt Trump brand, H. Stephen Kesselman, Newtown Square. And lastly, Kathleen Strukowski, Mount Laurel, civil war based on lies. The quote, fraudulent election, and quote, stop the steal lies was just the latest and hopefully last assault that Trump is allowed to make on our country and its constitution. He has lied every day since day one, vastly inflating his inauguration crowd size for vanity, has made millions doubt the facts, quote, alternative truths, and not listen to what is really happening, quote, fake news. He caused the needless deaths of countless people who believe that COVID is a hoax and that masks are useless and oppressive. He doesn't discount the lies that others fabricate to benefit him. QAnon, Fox News, Alex Jones, Rush Limbaugh, OAN News, Breitbart, Newsmax. He has brainwashed millions into false reality where they are his protectors and soldiers, willing to give their lives based on lies. It must stop or we will be in a civil war based on Trump lies that I think even Trump believes sometimes. Here's an article, an op-ed from Annie Rivers, a junior at William Penn Charter School and a participant in the Esell Moore High School Journalism Workshop, which first published a version of this article, The Daily Struggle of Virtual School. Let's read what she has to say, young girl. Let's see how she handles this op-ed. I'm curious. Amani Rivers. Wake up, eat breakfast, join Zoom meetings, eat lunch, join more Zoom meetings, sleep. Ditto the following day and the remaining days of any given week. This happens to be a typical schedule for most Philadelphia high school students who have been confined to their homes during the global pandemic. For many of us, it can be stressful to wake up and go through the same uneventful routine each day. As a junior at William Penn Charter School in Philadelphia, It would be an understatement to say I have found virtual school difficult. It may not appear as though high school students have been struggling with online classes, but remote learning comes with an array of issues, students everywhere feeling the weighted impact. Quote, people think online school is easier than the actual experience, said Anthony Rivers Jr., a junior at LaSalle College High School in Winmar. In reality, I would rather wake up every morning and spend 8 hours in a building with 500 people rather than spending 8 hours in my room in front of a computer screen. I guess that's our brother. Hey, you got to get your sources where you can get your sources. High school is an important part of adolescence. It's not only vital to a student's academic success and future, but also vital to their social development. There's a stark difference between sitting in a classroom as opposed to sitting in front of a computer screen. This difference can result in a lack of participation, enthusiasm, and overall growth. All right, well, good job getting this published. Gabby Polite, a student at Penn Charter, deals with her negative feelings through art and social contact. I make playlists of my favorite songs because it's really relaxing, and of course, I keep in touch with my friends through FaceTime or texting. Perhaps the most important thing to do is take your mind off stress is to talk with someone. Whether there's a mental health professional, a parent, a helpline, or even your pet, it's important to address your feelings and try to avoid negative thoughts. Most of all, we need to remember that this time is arduous for both students and educators. We need to encourage each other to reach out for help in this difficult time. None of us has to pretend that virtual school is normal or easy. And with that, we made it through the Inquirer for Monday, January 18th, 2021. Thanks everybody for joining in, and we'll check back a little bit later today with the New York Times in a separate video. Enjoy, have a great day, do something of service, educate yourself a little bit. See ya.